The clink of the champagne flute against my teeth is so sharp it feels like a slap. I blink. The light is wrong. It's a soft, golden wash from a chandelier I haven't seen in 3 years. The air smells like expensive jasmine, and my mother's favorite tuberose candles. I'm not in the sterile white hospital room where I died. I'm standing in the grand foyer of my parents' estate, wearing a pale pink silk dress that I remember ripping at the hem the night I fell down the stairs. 3 years ago, I fell down these very stairs. I broke my wrist and my engagement to Marcus Westbrook in the same terrible night. Vivian, did you hear me? My mother's voice is brittle, laced with that particular brand of impatience she reserves for me when I'm being difficult. She's standing 2 feet away, her auburn hair perfectly coiffed, a diamond necklace glittering at her throat. She looks exactly as she did the night my life imploded. Your father is talking to you. Honestly, Viv, you've been acting so spacey all day. It's your engagement party. Could you try to look like you at least want to be here? My engagement party. The air rushes out of my lungs. I look down at my left hand. There it is. The 3-carat emerald-cut diamond that Marcus had presented to me with all the fanfare of a man who was checking a box. My fingers are trembling. Not because of the ring, but because I can feel the ghost of the 4-line that was taped to my wrist just moments ago. I was alone in that hospital room. My parents had stopped visiting after the 2nd month. Marcus had sent his lawyer to deliver the official termination of our engagement papers by courier. And my sister, my beautiful, perfect, pregnant sister Amelia, had sent a bouquet of lilies. I was deathly allergic to lilies. She knew that. The last thing I heard was the steady, unforgiving beep of the heart monitor as it flatlined. And then I was here. On the night of my engagement party. The beginning of the end. Vivian. My mother's hand waves in front of my face, her rings catching the light. We don't have time for this. The Westbrooks are waiting. The Westbrooks. The entire family is here. Marcus's father, Richard, who is every bit as cold and calculated as his son, is standing by the fireplace with my father, discussing some new investment opportunity. And Marcus is somewhere in the crowd, no doubt charming everyone with his perfect smile and his perfectly rehearsed platitudes. The muscle memory of my past life kicks in. I remember this night. I remember feeling overwhelmed, anxious, and trying desperately to please everyone. I remember that my sister, Amelia, was absent for the first hour of the party, claiming she had a headache. She arrived late, her cheeks flushed, her smile a little too bright. But now I know why she was late. It wasn't a headache. It was the first appointment with the doctor who confirmed her pregnancy. A pregnancy she would pass off as a brief, regrettable fling at a party in the Hamptons. She would cry, and Marcus would console her. And their little secret, the affair that had been going on for 6 months, would continue to fester until the moment he left me at the altar. No. Not this time. You're right, Mother, I say, and my voice is surprisingly steady, the sound of it coming from somewhere deep in my chest. I am feeling a bit off. Where is Marcus? Relief washes over her face. There you are. Finally. He's in the study, I think. Your father wanted to discuss the prenuptial with him. He's been looking for you. Go on. I leave her there, my heels clicking softly on the marble floor. I don't go to the study. I don't want to see his handsome face, the one that will look at me with such feigned devotion for the next 3 years. I know the ending now. I know the entire script. And I'm going to rewrite every single page. The estate is buzzing with guests. I weave through the crowd, nodding politely, smiling when I'm supposed to. But my mind is a whirlwind. I feel like a ghost haunting my own body. I know every face, every conversation. I know that one of the caterers is going to drop a tray of champagne flutes in about 10 minutes, causing a small scene. I know that my father is going to make a toast that will be just a little too long, praising the union of our families like it's a merger. I also know that in about 30 minutes, Marcus is going to excuse himself from the party for a private phone call. He'll go to the East Terrace, the one that's partially hidden by the massive rose bushes. And he'll be there to call Amelia to see if she's feeling better. I caught him doing it last time, but I convinced myself I was being paranoid. I'm not going to the study, and I'm not going to the terrace. I'm going to the 2nd floor landing, the one that overlooks the foyer. I have a perfect view of everyone coming and going, and I know what I'm waiting for. The front door opens. A soft, cool breeze flows in, carrying the scent of the evening jasmine from the garden. And there she is, Amelia. She looks like a painting stepping out of its frame. Her hair is darker than mine, a rich chestnut, and it falls in soft waves around her shoulders. She's wearing a sage green dress that makes her skin look luminous. She's delicate, fragile, the classic sweet one. The one who always needs protecting. The one who always gets the benefit of the doubt. Our eyes meet across the crowded foyer, and I see a flash of something in her gaze, surprise, maybe even a flicker of guilt. It's gone in an instant. She's an expert at that. Vivian, she calls out, her voice a sweet, melodic sound as she walks toward the stairs. You look stunning. I'm so sorry I'm late. I just had the most awful headache. She starts climbing the stairs toward me, her hand resting on her stomach. It's a natural gesture for a woman who isn't showing yet, but I know what it is. It's a gesture of ownership, of secrecy. She's guarding the secret of the baby she's carrying. My fiancé's baby. I wait for her to reach the landing. I'm acutely aware of the people below, the conversations humming, the clinking of glasses. But it's just us on this landing. Just the two of us. It's okay, Amelia, I say. My voice is calm. I make a conscious effort to keep the tremor out of it. I'm glad you're here. She reaches out to touch my arm, a display of sisterly affection that makes my skin crawl. You're not nervous, are you? You look a little pale. I don't pull away. Instead, I lean in a little closer, close enough that I can smell her expensive perfume. The same one Marcus bought for her last Valentine's Day. He bought me a necklace that I found out later was a knockoff. Actually, I say softly, I'm feeling much better than I have in a very long time. I hear your headache was really bad. So bad you had to go see your doctor. Her hand freezes on my arm. Her perfect, glossy smile falters just a little. What the party noise seems to fade. The moment hangs between us, taut and dangerous. I'm not going to reveal my hand, not entirely. The party is my stage, and I have a much more public revelation planned. But I can't help it. The words spill out, fueled by the ghost of the woman I was, the woman who died alone and betrayed. I heard you had a late start to your day. I continue, keeping my tone light, as if we're discussing the weather. It's a shame you missed the doctor's appointment, but I'm sure you can reschedule. I mean, that is where you were, right? It's a test. A completely made-up assertion. The doctor's office would have been closed by the time she got there. I'm betting she told our parents she was at the spa. Her face goes pale beneath the glow of the chandelier. The perfect smile is gone, replaced by a mask of frozen shock. I don't know what you're talking about, Viv. I told Mom I was at the spa. I had a massage. No, you didn't, I say, shaking my head. I'm playing a hunch. I know Amelia is a meticulous liar, but she has a tell. When she's caught off guard, she always defaults to the most recent, most convenient lie. You told Mom you were going to that little boutique in Soho to pick up a gift for me. But I just spoke to the woman who owns it. She said you never came in. It's a bluff. A complete and utter bluff. I haven't spoken to anyone. I've been dead in a hospital bed for 3 years. But Amelia doesn't know that. She's watching me, her eyes wide and darting, like a cornered animal. The mask of the sweet, slightly flighty sister is slipping, and underneath is a woman trying desperately to figure out how I know. I had a headache, Vivian. I went home to lie down, she hisses, her voice low and venomous, a stark contrast to the sweet tone she used a moment ago. I know the headache is just the beginning, I murmur, and I let my gaze drop to her stomach for the briefest of seconds. It's a gamble. It's everything. I'm telling her I know, but I'm not telling her how I know, or what I'm going to do with the information. All I want is for her to be afraid. Amelia's breath hitches. She steps back, her hand instinctively flying to her abdomen. For a moment, she looks young, terrified. Just like she was the day she cried in my hospital room, supposedly out of grief, but really out of fear that I might somehow survive and expose her. Then she recovers. She's a Westbrook in spirit, even if she doesn't have the name yet. Her composure snaps back into place. She's the victim again. The wronged party. I don't know what you're trying to do, Vivian, but this is not the time or the place, she says, her voice trembling with fake hurt. This is your engagement party. Exactly. I say, a ghost of a smile touching my lips. This is my party, and I plan to enjoy every single second of it. So don't worry about me. You just focus on yourself, and that headache. I leave her standing there, her mouth open in a silent gasp of fury and confusion. I walk toward the grand staircase that leads to the second floor, where I have a plan. A plan to take control of the narrative before the narrative annihilates me again. I feel a surge of power so potent it makes me dizzy. It's not the giddy revenge of a madwoman. It's the cold, sharp clarity of a woman who has been shown the entire chessboard and knows every move her opponent is going to make. I'm not going to wait for Marcus to leave me at the altar. I'm not going to wait for them to look at me with pity and dismissal. I'm going to show them exactly who I am and exactly who they are. The final, undeniable proof, Amelia's baby's real father, is already on its way. I head towards the master bedroom that used to be my childhood room. The one I converted to a writing studio in my last life. I need to make a call. The private line in my father's study is my first target. I slip inside the dimly lit room, the scent of his leather chair and cigar smoke thick in the air. I remember this phone. It's the one my father used for his most sensitive business calls. I dial the number from memory. It's the number for the private investigator I hired in my previous life, the one who I had to use my meager inheritance to pay, long after everyone had stopped believing me. He was the one who discovered the text messages between Marcus and Amelia. The ones that talked about our baby and our future. The ones I'd never seen because Marcus was meticulous about covering his digital tracks. The phone rings twice and a gruff voice answers. Yeah. I freeze. It's not the investigator's voice. It's too young, too casual. Who is this? I ask, my heart pounding. It's Mr. Miller's office. He's in court. I'm his assistant, the voice says. Can I take a message? You'll have to leave a voicemail. It's the wrong timeline. The investigator I used in my previous life might not even be in business yet, or he's on a case, or the assistant who picks up is a stranger. I hang up. Panic claws at the edges of my calm. The story hasn't happened yet. The proof doesn't exist because Marcus hasn't been stupid enough to put it in writing. Not yet. The final showdown in the church, the one where he looked at me with cold disdain while holding Amelia's hand, hasn't happened. I can't stop it if I don't have the evidence. But I have something better. I have the memory of the future. I take a deep breath. The old me would have crumbled. But I know what Marcus is going to do tonight. I know his routine. After he talks to Amelia, he's going to find me, take me aside, and pretend to be the most loving fiancé in the world. He'll tell me how beautiful I look. He'll kiss my forehead. And he'll slip a small, unassuming piece of paper into my clutch. It's a receipt for a hotel booking in the Hamptons. A place called the Lighthouse Inn. In my previous life, I found the receipt in my clutch after the party and assumed it was for a romantic getaway he was planning for us. I was so touched. It was a lie. He and Amelia had been there the previous weekend. He had accidentally put the receipt in my bag. And I know because I read his email in a fevered panic a year later, that the Lighthouse Inn's general manager, a man named Greg, is a friend of a friend. In our original life, Greg was the man who eventually came forward and admitted he'd seen Marcus and Amelia there. But it was too late, the evidence was too little, and I was the disgraced, jilted bride. Not this time. Now I have the proof. The receipt has a phone number on it. The direct line to the hotel. And if I am very, very lucky, Greg will be working tonight. The door handle turns. I freeze. The door swings open and Marcus stands there, his silhouette filling the frame. He's wearing a dark blue suit that fits him like a glove, his dark hair artfully tousled, a smile of practiced warmth on his face. Hey, he says, his voice soft. I've been looking for you. What are you doing in the dark? He walks over to me, his hand coming up to cut my cheek. The gesture is so intimate, so familiar, that it makes my stomach turn. I can feel the warmth of his skin, and I have to fight the urge to flinch away. Just needed a minute. I say, my voice almost a whisper. He leans in and kisses my forehead, his lips soft. It's okay to be nervous. I'm nervous too. But we're going to be fine, Viv. We're perfect together. Perfect. The word is a knife in my gut. I just need one thing, I murmur, pulling away just a little. My phone is in my clutch in the lounge. I left it with my mother. Could you get it for me? I just have to text a friend. Of course, he says, his eyes never leaving mine. Anything for you. He leaves, and I exhale a breath I didn't realize I was holding. He didn't put the receipt in my bag. He didn't have time. But he will. It's in his breast pocket. I saw the corner of it. I wait until the door clicks shut behind him. Then I move fast. I don't have time to find a copy machine, but I have a phone. I pull my phone out of my pocket and turn on the camera. I tiptoe out of the study and follow him at a distance. The party is in full swing. The caterers are weaving through the crowd, and the band is playing a lively jazz tune. I see Marcus heading towards the coat check. He's a man on a mission. He's going to grab my clutch from my mother and make the swap. I find a vantage point by the stairs, partially hidden by a large potted fern. He's talking to my mother. She's laughing at something he said, patting his arm. He's so charming, so utterly infuriatingly charming. He turns and walks away from my mother. He stops near a small table and pulls a piece of paper out of his pocket. He glances around, and then with a casual practice motion he slips it into the open top of a small, beaded clutch that's sitting on a nearby table. He did it. The receipt is in my bag. Hey Marcus, a voice calls out. It's his father, Richard. Viv. Come over here. We want to make a toast. The guests are all gathering around the main foyer. I take a deep breath. I walk away from the ferns and into the center of the group, feeling all eyes on me. Marcus smiles at me as I approach. There she is. His hand finds mine, and he squeezes it. It feels like a shackle. My father clears his throat. The room falls silent. The toast is about to begin. In the spirit of this wonderful occasion, my father begins raising his glass. I'd like to welcome the Westbrooks into our family. My daughter, Vivian, has always been our pride and joy. And in Marcus, she has found a man who will cherish her, protect her, and love her for the rest of her life. To Vivian and Marcus, the room echoes. I raise my glass with the rest of them, but my eyes are not on Marcus. They're on my sister. She's standing in the back of the crowd, a glass of sparkling water in her hand. She looks pale, but her eyes are blazing with a mixture of fury and fear. The toast ends, and the band starts playing again. The party swells back to its vibrant noise. Viv, I'm going to get us some more champagne, Marcus says, his arm sliding around my waist. His hand is so confident, so possessive. And then he does it. He brushes his fingers against my bag. A calculated, loving gesture. He thinks he's making a deposit. No, I say, my voice clear. I need you to stay right here. I don't give him time to respond. I pull the clutch out of my own hands. I put my hand inside, my fingers brushing against the slip of paper. I can feel it. It's there. I pull it out. It's a small white receipt, creased in the middle. Everyone around me is laughing and chatting. Marcus is watching me. His face a careful mask of pleasant curiosity. Actually, I say, raising my voice a little. Before everyone starts having too much fun, I found something in my bag that I think belongs to Marcus. It fell out of his pocket. I hold the receipt up. The numbers and letters are small, but in the light they're legible to those closest to us. Marcus's smile falters. He looks at the receipt, and for a split second, I see pure, unadulterated panic flash in his eyes. But he recovers. He always recovers. Oh, that, he says, laughing it off. I was going to surprise you with a getaway for our honeymoon. It's for the lighthouse inn in the Hamptons. I wanted it to be a surprise. I know. He's going to gaslight me. He's going to turn this into a romantic gesture and make me look like the crazy one. Is that right? I ask, tilting my head. Because the dates on this receipt are from last weekend. And there's a name here. Amelia. It was a booking for one night. And the room confirmation number is listed under Amelia's last name. The air around us turns to ice. Marcus pales. My mother gasps. My father's eyes narrow. Amelia, who is a few feet away, drops her glass of sparkling water. It shatters on the marble floor. What? Marcus's voice is barely a whisper. I look at him, my eyes cold and sharp. What? I echo, my voice dripping with fake confusion. You said it was for us. I don't. That's not possible, he stammers, his perfect veneer cracking. Amelia. I say, turning my attention to my sister. Why is your name on a receipt for a romantic getaway in the Hamptons from last weekend? In my fiancé's pocket, Amelia's face is as white as a sheet. Her mouth is opening and closing, but no sound is coming out. The silence is deafening. Every single eye in the room is on us. I have them all in the palm of my hand. They are looking at me, the jilted fiancé, the victim, the crazy one who just exposed a scandal at her own engagement party. But I'm not a victim. I'm the one in control. I turn back to Marcus, and I let the smile fall from my face, leaving behind only cold, hard steel. Congratulations, Marcus. I say, my voice clear as a bell. You're going to be a father. He stares at me, his face a wreck of shock and desperation. Vivian, please, let me explain, but I'm not listening. The plan is in motion. The proof is out in the open. I don't need the private investigator, not for this. The final, public humiliation of Marcus and Amelia has begun. But it's not over. It's only the first stroke. The deeper, darker secret, who the baby's real father is, has only just begun to rear its ugly head. And I'm ready for the rest of the story to unfold. That the shattering of Amelia's glass is the only sound for a full 3 seconds. Then chaos. My mother rushes forward, her face a mask of horror, but not at Amelia. At me. Vivian. What on earth are you doing? She hisses, grabbing my arm. Her nails dig into my skin. This is your engagement party. Have you lost your mind? I look at her. This woman who spent my final months visiting me only to lecture me about letting go and not making a scene. She chose Marcus. She always chose Marcus. I'm not the one who booked a romantic weekend with my sister's fiancé. I say, my voice carrying across the now silent room. Ask her mother. Ask Amelia what she was doing at the lighthouse in last weekend. Amelia is frozen, a statue in sage green silk. Her eyes are wide, her lips parted. She looks like a deer caught in the headlights of an oncoming truck. The mask of the sweet, fragile sister has completely shattered, revealing the panicked, cornered woman beneath. She opens her mouth, but no sound comes out. Marcus, however, finds his voice. He steps forward, his hand reaching for my arm. His face a practiced blend of hurt and confusion. Vivian, you're upset. You're misinterpreting things. That receipt is for a business meeting. I was scouting locations for a charity event. Amelia's name is on it because she was helping me coordinate. That's all. It's a good lie. It's almost believable. I see a flicker of hope in Amelia's eyes. She latches onto it. Yes, she says, her voice trembling. That's it. Marcus asked me to help him with the charity gala. I was just doing a favor. I didn't think it would look like this. She lets out a pathetic little sob, and my mother immediately rushes to her side, wrapping an arm around her shoulders. Of course, darling. Of course it was a misunderstanding. My mother shoots me a glare that could curdle milk. Vivian, apologize to your sister and your fiancé this instant. The room is watching. The Westbrooks are watching. Richard Westbrook's face is carved from stone, but his eyes are sharp, calculating. He's a man who values reputation above all else. And this scene is a stain on his family's name. He's not angry at Marcus for being a liar. He's angry at me for exposing the lie in public. My father steps forward, his face flushed with embarrassment. Vivian, we can discuss this privately. This is not the time or place for such accusations. I look at them, my family, my future in-laws, my ex-fiancé. They're all closing ranks around the two liars. I'm the one being asked to apologize. In my previous life, I would have crumbled. I would have sobbed, apologized, and spent the rest of the party trying to convince everyone I was just being paranoid and emotional. I did exactly that, and it bought them 3 more years of sneaking around behind my back. Not this time. No, I say, and the word is firm, cold. We're not doing this privately. We're doing this right here, right now, because I want every single person in this room to hear the truth. I turn to face the crowd, my heart pounding in my chest. I feel like I'm standing on the edge of a cliff, but instead of fear, I feel a strange, exhilarating freedom. Marcus and Amelia have been having an affair for the past 6 months, I announce. She is pregnant with his child. I found out today. I found the receipt in his pocket, but I've known for a while. I've seen the text messages. I've seen the credit card statements. I have proof of everything. A collective gasp ripples through the room. Marcus's face goes white. Amelia lets out a genuine-sounding sob this time, burying her face in my mother's shoulder. My mother looks like she's been slapped. My father is speechless, his mouth opening and closing like a fish. You have no proof, Marcus says, his voice low and dangerous. He's dropped the act. The charming fiancé is gone, replaced by the cold, ruthless businessman I knew he really was. You're making this up. You're jealous and paranoid. Am I? I reach into my clutch and pull out my phone. I had already taken a picture of the receipt earlier, just in case. I hold it up for everyone to see. This is a photo of the receipt. The date is clear. The name is clear. The room is a suite. And I have a friend who works at the front desk of the lighthouse and who can confirm Marcus and Amelia checked in together last Friday evening and left Saturday morning. It's another bluff. I don't have a friend at the front desk. I don't have any proof beyond the receipt. But I know that Greg, the general manager, will confirm it if he's asked. He saw them. He remembered them because Amelia had made a scene about the room service being late. I'm counting on that memory being intact. Marcus's eyes dart around the room, looking for an ally and escape route. He finds none. The Westbrooks are staring at him with a mixture of horror and disgust. Richard Westbrook's face has gone from stone to thunderous. He steps forward, his voice a low growl. Marcus, is this true? Dad, I can explain. Answer the question. Richard snaps. Marcus hesitates. In that hesitation, the truth is written on his face for everyone to see. Amelia lets out a wail and buries her face deeper in my mother's shoulder. My mother, for her part, is still trying to salvage the situation. Let's all just calm down, she says, her voice strained. Vivian, you're clearly upset, but making a scene at your own party is not the way to handle this. We can discuss this tomorrow with cooler heads. Tomorrow? I laugh, and it's a bitter, hollow sound. Mother, there is no tomorrow. There is no engagement. There is no wedding. Marcus has been sleeping with my sister for 6 months. He got her pregnant. And you want me to wait until tomorrow to discuss it? I turn back to Marcus, my gaze sharp and unyielding. I'm done with you. I'm done with this family. I'm done being the one who has to apologize for being wronged. I pull the engagement ring off my finger. It glints in the chandelier light, a cruel mockery of everything I thought we had. I hold it out to him. Here. You can have it back. I'm sure you'll find a better use for it. Marcus doesn't take it. He's staring at me like I've grown a second head. Vivian, you can't just... I can, I say, and I drop the ring into his open palm. It lands with a soft click. And I just did. The engagement is off. The wedding is off. You can have Amelia. You two deserve each other. I turn to leave, but I'm not done. I stop and look at Amelia, who's peeking out from my mother's shoulder like a frightened child. You're going to have a beautiful baby, I say, and my voice is soft, almost kind. But you should know, Amelia, the baby isn't Marcus's. The words hang in the air like a grenade. Everyone freezes. Amelia's face goes from pale to ashen. Marcus's jaw drops. My mother gasps. What did you say? Amelia whispers, her voice barely audible. You heard me, I say, and I let the smile drop from my face. I know who the real father is. And it's not Marcus. It's someone else. Someone you've been hiding from everyone. I let the implication sink in. I don't say the name, because I don't have the proof yet. Not in this timeline. But I know the truth. I know that Amelia had been seeing someone else before Marcus. A man named Daniel, a friend of Marcus's from college. A man who was at the party last weekend in the Hamptons. A man who Amelia had been hooking up with for months, before she ever looked at Marcus. The baby is his, not Marcus's. I found this out in my previous life when Marcus, in a drunken fit of rage after Amelia miscarried, screamed it at her in the hospital. He'd found out from a mutual friend. He'd been raising a child that wasn't his. And he'd destroyed his reputation and his engagement for a woman who had been lying to him from the start. Amelia's face is a mask of pure terror. She knows I'm telling the truth. She knows the secret she's been carrying. You're insane, she hisses, her voice cracking. You're making this up. You're just bitter and jealous. Am I? I tilt my head. Then why are you so scared? Why are you shaking? I turn to Marcus, who's staring at Amelia with a new, dawning horror on his face. Ask her, Marcus. Ask her about Daniel. Ask her about the weekend she spent with him at the Hamptons. Ask her about the text messages she still has on her phone. Marcus's face is a battlefield of emotions. Anger, confusion, betrayal. He looks at Amelia, his gaze demanding an answer. Amelia's composure finally completely shatters. Marcus, it's not what you think. Who is Daniel? Marcus's voice is cold, hollow. Vivian, who is Daniel? I smile, but there's no warmth in it. He's a friend of yours, Marcus. From college. He was at the Hamptons that weekend. Amelia was with him, not you. You were just the convenient backup plan. I look at Amelia. Isn't that right, sister? Amelia is sobbing now, ugly, wrenching sobs that shake her whole body. She's clutching my mother, who looks like she's about to faint. My father is standing frozen, his face a thundercloud of confusion and fury. Marcus is staring at Amelia like he's seeing her for the first time. Is it true? He asks, his voice barely a whisper. Is the baby Daniel's? Amelia tries to speak, but no words come out. She just shakes her head, over and over, like a broken doll. But everyone can see the truth in her eyes. Marcus lets out a sound, a raw, animalistic noise of fury and betrayal. He steps back from Amelia like she's contaminated. You lied to me, he says. You've been lying to me this whole time. So have you. I say, and I'm the only calm one in the room. You lied to me. You cheated on me. You got my sister pregnant. And now you're both caught. But I'm not the one who's going to suffer this time. You two are. I take a deep breath, looking at the assembled crowd. They're all staring at me like I'm a stranger. I don't care. I'm the strongest person in this room. And they're just now realizing it. Let this be a lesson, I say, my voice clear and strong. To everyone. When you betray someone, it always comes back to you. Always. Marcus and Amelia, you made your bed. Now lie in it. I turn on my heel and walk toward the exit. No one stops me. The crowd parts before me like the Red Sea. I don't look back. I don't need to. I know exactly what's happening behind me. The whispers, the accusations, the carnage. I've won the first battle. But the war isn't over. There's still the question of who the baby's real father is. There's still the question of how deeply the lies run. And there's still my own survival to secure. I have nothing. No fiancé. No family. No support system. But I have my freedom, and I have my knowledge. And in this timeline, that's all I need to start rebuilding. I walk out of my parents' estate into the cool night air. The moon is full, casting silver light over the manicured gardens. I take a deep breath, and for the first time in 3 years I feel alive. The old Vivian is dead. She died in that hospital room, alone and forgotten. The new Vivian is reborn. And she's ready to fight for herself. I pull out my phone and dial a number I've memorized. A number I never thought I'd use. It rings twice, then a voice answers. Hello. Lily, I say, my voice steady. It's Vivian. I need a place to stay. Just for a few days. Can you help me? There's a pause, then a familiar, warm laugh. Vivian, is that really you? I haven't heard from you in months. Of course you can stay. What happened? I close my eyes and let out a breath I didn't know I was holding. I'll tell you everything when I get there. I just need a ride. Can you pick me up at the Old Oak Street entrance? On my way, Lily says. And Vivian, welcome back. I hang up and walk toward the side gate, the sounds of the party fading behind me. The night is quiet, peaceful. I've just detonated a bomb in the middle of my engagement party, and I'm walking away without a scratch. It's a strange, exhilarating feeling. But I know it's not over. The truth about the baby's real father is a weapon, and I have it. But I don't have the proof. Not yet. I need to find Daniel. I need to get him to admit the truth. And I need to do it before Marcus and Amelia can spin this into something else. They'll try to paint me as crazy, bitter, vindictive. They'll try to silence me. But I won't let them. The side gate creaks open, and I step out into the quiet street. The Bentley is still parked in the driveway, glinting under the streetlights. I walk away without a backward glance. My phone buzzes. A text from my mother. Vivian, come back inside. We need to talk. I delete the message without responding. Another buzz. This time it's from Marcus. You've made a huge mistake. This isn't over. I smile. I know it's not over. It's only just beginning. I type a quick reply. I know. That's what scares you. Then I pocket my phone and disappear into the shadows. The weight of the past finally lifted from my shoulders. I don't know what comes next. But for the first time in a long time, I'm excited to find out. The old Vivian is gone. The new Vivian is just getting started. Lily's apartment is a cramped studio in a part of Brooklyn that smells like garlic and diesel fumes, but it's the safest I've felt in years. She hands me a glass of cheap red wine and doesn't ask too many questions while I scrub the party makeup off my face in her tiny bathroom. I can see my reflection in the cracked mirror, pale, tired, but my eyes are clear. The old Vivian would have been crying by now. The new Vivian just feels hungry. Okay, talk, Lily says, handing me a slice of takeout pizza. She's sitting cross-legged on her worn-out couch, her dyed pink hair falling over her eyes. Your sister texted me. She said you had a breakdown at your engagement party and accused her of sleeping with Marcus. I told her she was full of it, but I want to hear your side. I take a bite of the pizza. It's cold, but it's the best thing I've ever tasted. She's not full of it, I say. She's pregnant with Marcus's baby. Or she thinks she is. The baby's actually someone else's. A guy named Daniel. Marcus's friend from college. Lily's jaw drops. Holy shit. Viv, that's insane. How do you know all this? I can't tell her I died and came back. She'd think I'd really lost my mind. Instead, I stick to a version of the truth that she can accept. I found the receipt. And I've been suspicious for months. I had a friend look into it. He found texts, credit card charges. It's all true. Lily stares at me for a long moment, then nods slowly. Okay. I believe you. You've never been the dramatic type. So what's the plan? Are you going to expose them? Make them pay. I finish the pizza slice and set the crust down. I already exposed them. In front of everyone. The engagement is off. I dropped the ring in Marcus's hand and walked out. Damn, Lily breathes. I wish I'd been there to see that. What did your parents say? Nothing. They were too busy trying to calm Amelia down. I let out a bitter laugh. My mother actually told me to apologize. She wanted me to say sorry for making a scene. Of course she did. Lily shakes her head. She's always had a soft spot for the perfect one. So what now? You can't go back to the estate. And I'm assuming you're not going to get much support from the family's legal team. I've already thought about this. The family money is controlled by my father. In my previous life, he cut me off the moment I was officially jilted. He said I had brought shame to the family name. I know he'll do the same thing now. I need to find Daniel, I say. He's the key. If I can get him to admit that he's the father, then everything else falls apart for them. Marcus will realize he's been used. Amelia will lose her leverage. And I'll have proof that I wasn't just making things up. Where do we find this Daniel guy? I pull out my phone and start scrolling. In my previous life, Daniel was a ghost for a long time. I didn't find out about him until after Amelia's miscarriage, when Marcus shouted his name in a hospital corridor. But I know where he works. He's a financial analyst at a firm in Manhattan. He's married, has 2 kids, a nice house in Connecticut. The affair with Amelia was a secret he'd been trying to bury. He works at Meridian Capital, I say. I can't just walk into his office and demand a confession. But I know someone who might be able to help. An investigator. I tried to call him earlier, but he wasn't in. What investigator? I hesitate. The investigator is a man named James Miller. He was the one who helped me in my previous life, the one who uncovered the texts between Marcus and Amelia. But in this timeline, I haven't hired him yet. I don't even know if he'll take my case. A private investigator. I need to get in touch with him tomorrow. Lily nods. Okay. We'll go see him in the morning. But you need to rest tonight. You look like you haven't slept in days. I haven't. Not in this body, not in this timeline. But I feel wired, too keyed up to sleep. I lie down on Lily's pull-out couch and stare at the ceiling, running through everything I know. The timeline is different now. I've set off a chain reaction that didn't happen before. Marcus and Amelia are exposed, but they're not together. Marcus knows the baby might not be his. Amelia is terrified. My parents are in damage control mode. And Daniel doesn't know that his secret is about to be uncovered. My phone buzzes. It's another text from Marcus. We need to talk. Just the two of us. I can explain everything. I stare at the screen. In my previous life, I would have responded immediately, desperate for any sign that he still loved me. Now I just feel cold. I type back. You had 6 months to explain. I'm done listening. He responds almost instantly. You're making a mistake. You don't know the full story. I laugh out loud. If only he knew. I know the full story. I know the ending. I know that he'll spend the next year trying to salvage his reputation, that he'll eventually marry Amelia but never trust her, that their marriage will be a disaster of mutual resentment and suspicion. I know that I died alone in a hospital bed, forgotten by everyone who was supposed to love me. I know the full story, and I'm not going to let it happen again. I turn my phone off and close my eyes. Sleep comes slowly, but it comes. For the first time in 3 years, I dream of nothing at all. The next morning, I'm at James Miller's office before 9. He's a middle-aged man with tired eyes and a no-nonsense attitude, working out of a small office above a laundromat on the Lower East Side. When I walk in, he's already on the phone, arguing with someone about payment. He hangs up when he sees me. Can I help you? He asks, not bothering to hide his skepticism. I sit down across from him. My name is Vivian Hart. I need you to find someone for me. His name is Daniel Reynolds. He works at Meridian Capital. I need to get proof that he's having an affair with my sister. Miller raises an eyebrow. That's a pretty specific request. What's your connection to him? He's the father of my sister's unborn baby. I say flatly. She's been telling everyone it's my ex-fiancé's, but it's not. I need proof. Photographs. Text messages. Credit card receipts. Anything that ties them together. Miller studies me for a moment. You're the Hart girl, aren't you? I read about you in the gossip pages. You destroyed your own engagement party last night. I feel a flush of embarrassment. I hadn't realized the news had spread so fast. Yes, that was me, I say. And I'm not sorry for it. But I need to make sure the truth comes out. I need to protect myself. My family is going to cut me off, and I have nothing. If I can prove I'm not the crazy one, it'll change everything. Miller leans back in his chair. I'll take the case, but it's not going to be cheap. And I need you to understand something. I don't play nice. If I find something, I'll use it. Are you prepared for that? Yes, I say without hesitation. I'm prepared for anything. The next few days are a blur of activity. Miller does his work, and I spend my time at Lily's apartment, trying to figure out my next move. I open a new bank account with the small amount of savings I'd hidden away from my parents, a few $1,000s that I'd stashed over the years just in case. In my previous life, I'd used that money to pay Miller for the first time. This time, it's my lifeline that the messages from my family don't stop. My mother leaves me voicemails that range from pleading to furious. Vivian, come home. We can fix this. How dare you humiliate us like this? Your father is livid. You need to apologize. I delete them all without listening. My father sends a single text. You are no longer welcome in this house. I respond with a single word. Understood. Amelia doesn't text me. She doesn't call. I suspect she's in full damage control mode, trying to convince everyone that I'm unstable and that the accusations are lies. But I also suspect she's terrified. The name Daniel Reynolds is a landmine in her life, and she knows I'm about to step on it. That Marcus is more persistent. He shows up at Lily's apartment building twice, trying to get me to talk to him. I watch from the window as he stands in the rain, looking up at Lily's window. He doesn't know which apartment is hers, but he's guessed the general area. The first time, I ignore him. The second time, I call the building's super and ask him to tell Marcus that if he doesn't leave, I'm calling the police. He leaves, but I can see the anger in his face. He's not used to being ignored. After a week, Miller calls. I've got something, he says. A meeting scheduled for tonight. Daniel Reynolds and your sister. They're meeting at a hotel in Midtown. The Vincent Hotel. Room 712. I feel my pulse quicken. How do you know? I've been tracking Reynolds's calendar. He booked a room under a fake name. And your sister used her credit card to buy a train ticket to the city this morning. She's going to meet him. Can you get photos? I'll be there, Miller says. You want to be there too. It might be useful to see their faces when they realize they've been caught. I hesitate. Part of me wants to be there. To see Amelia's expression when she realizes I've outmaneuvered her. But part of me knows I need to stay calm, collected. I'll be there, I say. But I'm not going to confront them. I'm just going to watch. The Vincent Hotel is a nondescript building on a side street, the kind of place that attracts discreet clientele. I'm standing in the lobby at 7 p.m., wearing a hat and sunglasses, trying to look inconspicuous. Miller is already inside, positioned in a corner with a camera and a long lens. At 7:15, the elevator opens and Amelia steps out. She's wearing a trench coat and dark glasses, her hair pulled back in a tight bun. She looks thinner than she did at the party, and there are dark circles under her eyes that even makeup can't hide. She walks to the elevator and presses the button for the 7th floor. I wait a few seconds, then follow. I take the stairs, climbing quickly and quietly. Room 712 is at the end of the hall. I can hear voices inside. I press my ear to the door and hear Amelia's voice, high and frantic. I don't know what to do, Daniel. She knows everything. She exposed us at the party. Marcus is furious. He's been calling me nonstop. A man's voice, deep and calm. Calm down. She doesn't know anything. She's bluffing. She's just bitter because Marcus dumped her. But she knew about the baby. She knew it wasn't his. She mentioned your name. She mentioned the Hamptons. Daniel, we're in trouble. There's a pause. Then the man, Daniel, speaks again. Amelia, listen to me. I have a family. I have a wife and kids. If this gets out, my life is over. You need to make this go away. How can I make it go away? She has proof. She has the receipt. She has texts. She's going to destroy us. Then you need to do something about it. The conversation goes on for another few minutes, but I've heard enough. Miller appears in the stairwell, his camera in hand. He nods. I have all the proof I need. I walk away from the door, a smile spreading across my face. I've got them. I've got them both. The next step is the hardest. I need to decide what to do with this information. Do I release it to the press? Do I confront Amelia and Daniel directly? Do I use it as leverage to get my family to back off? My phone buzzes. It's a text from an unknown number. I know what you're doing, Vivian. And I know about your little investigator. If you don't back off, I will destroy you. I stare at the message. My hands are cold. Who sent this? Daniel, Marcus, someone else. The gloating satisfaction I felt a moment ago evaporates, replaced by a cold, creeping dread. I'm not the only one playing this game. There are other players, and they're not going to go down without a fight. Miller says he'll have the photos and the audio recording ready by tomorrow. But I realize that this isn't the end. It's just the beginning. The web of lies I'm unraveling is deeper and darker than I ever imagined. I don't know who else is involved, but I know I have to be careful. I'm playing for the highest stakes, and one wrong move could cost me everything. I take a deep breath and type a reply. I'm not backing off, but I'm willing to talk. Maybe we can work something out. I send the message and wait. The reply comes almost instantly. Name the time and place. I don't know who I'm meeting. I don't know what they want. But I know I have to go. If I want to survive this, I need to find out who else is pulling the strings. The game is getting dangerous, but I'm not going to back down. The old Vivian would have crumbled. The new Vivian is ready for anything. I choose a coffee shop in Greenwich Village for the meeting. It's neutral ground, busy enough that I won't be alone, quiet enough that we can talk. I arrive early, order a black coffee I don't drink, and wait. My hands are steady, but my heart is racing. I have no idea who I'm about to meet. The door opens at exactly 11. It's not Marcus. It's not Daniel. It's my mother. She walks in wearing a tailored cream suit, her hair perfectly coiffed, her expression unreadable. She spots me immediately and crosses the room with the kind of purposeful stride she uses when she's about to deliver bad news. She sits down across from me, folds her hands on the table, and looks at me with something I can't quite identify. It's not anger. It's not disappointment. It's something colder. Vivian, she says. I'm glad you came. I stare at her. Of all the people I expected, she was not on the list. You sent that message, I ask. You threatened to destroy me. Threatened is a strong word, she says. I prefer warned. You're playing a dangerous game, and you don't know the rules. I know the rules perfectly well, Mother. I'm the one who got cheated on. I'm the one who was lied to. I'm the one who's been cut off by her own father. So forgive me if I don't see the danger in fighting back. My mother sighs, a long, weary sound. Vivian, there are things you don't understand. Things about this family, about our history. Amelia's situation is more complicated than you think. Complicated, I laugh, but there's no humor in it. She slept with my fiancé. She got pregnant. She lied to everyone. What's complicated about that? Amelia isn't the person you think she is, my mother says. She's not the villain in this story. She's a victim just like you. I feel a flash of genuine anger. A victim, she's the one who destroyed my engagement. She's the one who had an affair behind my back. She's the one who's been lying to everyone for months. How is she a victim? My mother leans forward, her voice dropping to a near whisper. Because Daniel Reynolds isn't just a man she had an affair with. He's the man who assaulted her at a party 2 years ago. The baby isn't a product of an affair, Vivian. It's a product of rape. The words hit me like a physical blow. I feel the blood drain from my face. What? It happened at a party in the Hamptons. She was drunk. He was drunk. She said no, but he didn't stop. She was too ashamed to tell anyone. She thought people would blame her. She thought it would destroy her reputation. So she kept it quiet. And when she found out she was pregnant, she panicked. She told Marcus it was his because she didn't know what else to do. She was terrified, Vivian. She's been terrified this whole time. I open my mouth, but no words come out. My mind is reeling, trying to process what she's just told me. Amelia, the sister I've hated for 3 years, the sister I've been trying to destroy, was a victim of sexual assault. The baby I've been using as a weapon is the product of that assault. Everything I've done, every accusation I've made, every piece of proof I've gathered, it's all built on a foundation of ignorance. I thought I knew the full story. I was so wrong. Why didn't she tell me? I finally manage. Why did she let me believe she was having an affair with Marcus? Because she was ashamed, my mother says. And because she didn't think you would believe her. You've never been close, Vivian. You've always seen her as the golden child. The one who got everything. But Amelia has been struggling for years. She's been in therapy. She's been trying to move forward. And when she found out she was pregnant, she didn't know how to handle it. She made terrible choices. But she's not a monster. She's a broken young woman trying to survive. I lean back in my chair, my coffee forgotten. The revelation is a bomb, and it's destroyed everything I thought I knew. I hate Amelia for what she did, but I also understand, on some level, why she did it. I thought I was fighting for justice. I thought I was standing up for myself. But all I was doing was perpetuating a cycle of trauma and pain. The baby, I say slowly. Is she going to keep it? She doesn't know yet, my mother says. She's terrified. She's considering terminating the pregnancy, but she's also scared of that. She's in a terrible place, Vivian. And you're not helping. I feel a wave of shame wash over me. I've been so consumed by my own revenge that I never stopped to consider the full picture. I never stopped to consider that Amelia might be more than just a villain. What do you want from me, I ask. Do you want me to back off? Do you want me to drop the investigation? I want you to come home, my mother says. I want you to sit down with Amelia and talk to her. I want you to try to understand. And I want you to stop trying to destroy her. She's your sister, Vivian. She's family. I look at her, this woman who has always been so difficult to please. And I see something I've never seen before. Exhaustion. Sadness. A mother trying to hold her family together. I can't just forget everything, I say. She lied to me. She hurt me. She stole my fiancé, even if it was out of desperation. I'm not asking you to forget, my mother says. I'm asking you to forgive. Or at least to try. That's what family does. That's what family has to do. I don't respond. I don't know what to say. My mother reaches across the table and takes my hand. Marcus is not a good man, she says quietly. He knew about Daniel. He knew about the assault. He found out months ago, and he didn't tell you because he thought it would make him look bad. He used Amelia's trauma to his advantage. He manipulated her into keeping the secret because it suited his needs. He's the real villain, Vivian. Not your sister. The revelation is another punch to the gut. Marcus knew. He knew Amelia was carrying her rapist's baby, and he used that knowledge to control her, to keep her dependent on him, to keep her from telling me the truth. He was never a victim. He was a predator. Where is he now? I asked. He's been trying to contact you, my mother says. He's been calling your father, trying to negotiate some kind of settlement. He's terrified that you're going to expose everything. But he's not afraid of the truth. He's afraid of the damage it will do to his reputation. I feel a cold calm settle over me. Marcus Westbrook is a manipulator, a liar, and a man who weaponized my sister's trauma against her. He doesn't deserve my anger. He deserves my complete and total indifference. I'm not going to expose anything, I say. Not about Amelia. Not about the baby. That's her story to tell, not mine. But I'm not going to let Marcus walk away unscathed. He's been using both of us, and he needs to pay for that. My mother nods slowly. I can't argue with that. But please, Vivian, talk to your sister. Give her a chance to explain. Give her a chance to apologize. I take a deep breath. The old Vivian would have refused. The old Vivian would have clung to her anger and her revenge. But the old Vivian is dead. I'm someone new now. Fine, I say. I'll talk to her. But I'm not going to forgive her until I hear the truth from her own lips. And I'm not going back to the estate. I need time. My mother's smile is thin, but it's genuine. That's all I'm asking. We meet at a park in Central Park, a neutral space far from the prying eyes of the estate. Amelia is already there when I arrive, sitting on a bench, her hands wrapped around a paper cup of tea. She looks small, fragile, nothing like the confident woman I remember from the engagement party. I sit down next to her, and for a long moment, neither of us speaks. I'm sorry, she finally says, her voice barely above a whisper. I'm so sorry, Viv. I never meant to hurt you. I look at her, and for the first time, I see her as more than just an enemy. I see a woman who has been through something unspeakable, and is still trying to find her way out. Mom told me about Daniel. I say. She told me what happened. Amelia flinches, her eyes filling with tears. I didn't want you to know. I didn't want anyone to know. I was so ashamed. You don't have to be ashamed, I say, and I'm surprised to find that I mean it. What he did to you, that's on him. It's not your fault. Amelia lets out a shaky breath. I know that now. But I didn't back then. I was so scared. And when I found out I was pregnant, I panicked. Marcus offered to help. He said he'd stand by me. He said it would be our secret. I thought he was protecting me. But he was just protecting himself. He's been doing that for years, I say. He's been manipulating both of us. Amelia nods, wiping her eyes. I know. I'm so sorry, Viv. I'm sorry for lying. I'm sorry for everything. I know I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I wanted to say it anyway. I don't answer right away. I don't know if I can forgive her, not yet. But I also don't want to carry the weight of this anger anymore. It's too heavy, and it's been poisoning me for too long. I'm not going to expose you. I say. I'm not going to use the baby as a weapon. That's your story. You decide what to do with it. Amelia looks at me, her eyes wide with surprise. Really, you'd do that for me? I'm doing it for me, I say. I'm done with revenge. It doesn't make me feel better. It just makes me feel empty. I pause, then add, but I'm not done with Marcus. He used you. He used me. And he's not going to get away with it. What are you going to do? I smile. And it's a cold, sharp smile. I'm going to make sure the world knows exactly who he is. His affair with you, that's a story he can't spin. And I've got proof. But I'm not going to drag you into it. I'll focus on him. Amelia nods slowly. I want to be there when you do it. I want to tell the truth. I look at her, really look at her. She's still fragile, but there's a flicker of strength in her eyes. Maybe she's going to be okay. Maybe we both are. Okay, I say. Together. The press conference is held 2 weeks later. I stand behind a podium, the cameras flashing, the reporters murmuring. Amelia is beside me, her hand in mine. Marcus is not there, but he's watching. I know he's watching that I tell the story. I tell it simply, without emotion. I talk about the affair, the lies, the manipulation. I talk about how Marcus used both of us. I don't mention Daniel. I don't mention the assault. That's Amelia's secret, and she'll tell it when she's ready. But I do mention the baby, and I make it clear that Marcus isn't the father. I don't say who is. I don't have to. The press goes wild. The headlines the next day are brutal. Marcus Westbrook exposed as cheater and liar, and socialite Vivian Hart takes down her ex-fiancé. Marcus's reputation is in ruins. His company's stock drops. His father publicly disowns him. He disappears from the social scene, and I don't hear from him again. That my father calls me the next day. He doesn't apologize, but he offers to lift the financial restrictions. He offers to let me come home. I tell him I need more time. I'm not ready to go back. I'm not sure I ever will be. Amelia moves out of the estate and into a small apartment in Brooklyn near Lily's. She's in therapy, taking it one day at a time. We still have a long way to go, but we're starting to rebuild something. It's fragile and tentative, but it's real. In me, I don't have all the answers. I'm still figuring out who I am without Marcus, without my family, without the weight of revenge. But for the first time in a long time, I'm excited about the future. I'm not a victim anymore. I'm a survivor. And I'm ready for whatever comes next.